Have you ever heard of sungazing? It's this ancient and, yeah, pretty controversial idea. But the core belief is kind of mind-blowing. It asks, what if we don't actually need food? What if we could just live on sunlight?
I mean, really think about that for a second. Can we live on sunlight? It sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? But for some people, this is a very real, very profound spiritual path. So what is it exactly? Well, the whole idea is that by looking directly at the sun, at specific times, of course, our bodies can absorb all the energy and nourishment they need, and eventually, you wouldn't need to eat at all. For followers, it's like plugging directly into the universe's ultimate power source.
Okay, so let's get into how this is all supposed to work. This is what proponents call the food of light. Now, this isn't about just staring up at the sun at high noon. No. There's a very specific method. You're supposed to gaze only during what they call the safe hours. That's the first hour after sunrise or the last hour before sunset. That's when the UV index is at its lowest. And you start small, like just a few seconds. Then, very, very slowly, you add about 10 seconds to your gazing time each day. But here's where it gets really interesting. This isn't just about finding an alternative to food. The belief system behind it, well, it goes way back, and it's a completely different take on a story we all think we know.
All right, think about the Garden of Eden. We all know the basics, but this esoteric version asks you to imagine something totally different. It suggests that way back in the beginning, we weren't quite human, not in the way we are now.
The idea is that we were originally beings of pure light, pure energy. We weren't dense, physical bodies, but something much more ethereal, perfectly in tune with everything. And get this, in that state, we didn't eat. We didn't have to. We were literally fed by the sun, just soaking up its energy, thriving on a diet of pure light.
So, how is this supposed to work biologically? Well, it all centered on the pineal gland. You've probably heard it called the third eye in spiritual circles. The theory is that this gland acted like a little solar panel inside our brains, converting sunlight directly into life-sustaining energy. And the forbidden fruit? In this telling, it wasn't about disobeying an order. It was a metaphor. Eating the fruit symbolized our fall into a dense physical state. It's what severed our direct connection to the sun and forced us to start relying on material food to survive.
It's a pretty incredible story, isn't it? Almost poetic. But, okay, it's time to hit the brakes and ask, what does actual science have to say about any of this? Let's do a little reality check.
So on one side, you have these amazing promises. Proponents talk about not needing food anymore, having incredible energy, sharp mental focus, feeling emotionally balanced, even having these profound spiritual awakenings.
But then you turn to the medical community, and the picture they paint is terrifyingly different. We're talking about severe and permanent risks. Staring at the sun can cause solar retinopathy. That's a literal burn on your retina. It can cause cataracts. It can lead to permanent blindness. And of course, not eating leads to severe malnutrition. So let me be absolutely clear about this because it's the most important takeaway. Every ophthalmologist, every scientist agrees. Looking directly at the sun, even for a short time, even during sunrise or sunset, is incredibly dangerous and can permanently destroy your eyesight.
And the biological reason for this is, well, it's pretty straightforward. We are not plants. Plants have chlorophyll, that's the green stuff they use for photosynthesis, turning sunlight into chemical energy. We just don't have that biological machinery. Our bodies are designed to get energy from consuming food, plain and simple.
So you might be wondering, why do some people report feeling so good when they do this? Well, science has some solid explanations. First, there's the placebo effect. If you believe something will work, you can feel real benefits. Second, getting some sun does boost your vitamin D, which can improve your mood. The practice also has a meditative quality, which reduces stress. And the human body is surprisingly good at adapting to lower calorie intake for a while, so it's likely a combination of these things. Okay, so the science is crystal clear. We cannot physically live on light. But does that mean we should just toss the whole idea out? Or what if we looked at it differently? What if the whole thing is not a literal diet, but a powerful metaphor? And that brings us to a different way of thinking about this, a sort of metaphorical journey, to awaken what some would call our true inner nature. This quote really gets to the heart of it. It asks us to completely reframe how we see ourselves. Maybe we aren't just bodies that happen to have a spirit inside. Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe we are spiritual beings just having a temporary physical experience. And that idea of being a being of light becomes a metaphor for that essential spiritual core.
So, if you want to connect with that inner light, how do you do it safely? Well, there are a ton of ways that don't involve risking your eyesight. Things like meditation and mindfulness can help quiet the noise. Just getting out in nature can connect you to something bigger. So can creative expressions, self-reflection, or acts of compassion. These are all real, grounded ways to find that vitality and clarity some people are looking for in the sun. So I'll leave you with this final thought. If we take away the dangerous practice, but keep the beautiful metaphor, what does it actually mean to be a being of light in our world today? Maybe it's about being a source of kindness, or curiosity, or strength for the people around you. It's definitely something to think about.